Hello, Raleigh. This is your mortgage professor, Robert Courts with YBY Mortgage, and my friend Rusty.
Hey, glad to be here. Rusty Sutton, founder and owner of the co-owner of the Green Monkey.
And together we have created We Are DTR to support all of our groovy friends, small business and restaurants that live and work in the downtown area. And today we got a special treat. Rusty, why don't you introduce our guest?
Well, this is Mr. Sam. He told me I could pronounce his name anyway as long as I don't call it something else. Ratto. Is it Ratto?
Sam Ratto, Videri Chocolate Factory.
Okay, good. I did good. I'm excited because I got to meet Sam when he was working with us on Save the Red Hat Amphitheater cause, and he's a cool guy, and he's a wonderful note taker.
That's the first time I've ever heard it, and I love it. Every time I hear it, I love it.
Yes, you are a good note taker, better than I was. And he has the privilege of being the owner of Videri Chocolate in downtown Raleigh. And it is delicious. If you haven't tried any of their products, please go and try it. It's delicious.
Sam, tell us a little bit about how you got into this extracurricular opportunity and where's your passion lie with all this?
Oh, man. So I moved here in 2009 to the great state of North Carolina and Raleigh specifically. And I actually got a job at Escazoo in 2009 sorting beans. And that's where the number one, the discovery of chocolate making came, and the wonder and passion for it. I was given the opportunity to sit in the back and sort beans and roast them and winnow them and learn on the go and learn on the fly. And I did. I took copious amounts of notes, and I kept trying and learning and getting a little bit better here and there. And then in 2011, my ex-wife and a business partner and I opened Videri Chocolate Factory in the Warehouse District. And ever since that first time touching beans in 2009 to this day, we learned something really interesting, or sometimes we learn hard lessons. But our whole thing is that we get to interact with chocolate and the wonder of making chocolate from the bean to the bar.
So I got a question from that. So do you said something that you just did trial and error and stuff. So do you believe that practicing your craft just gets better and better, and sometimes mistakes create something cool?
Always. The best way to put it is we have SOPs for all the stuff we do, and we build a new SOP, a new product or whatever, or even if just like maybe a piece of equipment changes or the beans change or different flavors, all the different variables that exist. But the best story I can tell about when we changed something in our factory was one time I was roasting a bean variety from Trinidad, and we have a couple different switches on the roaster. And there was this one point where when it hit like its preset temperature, let's call it 260 degrees, we would have to turn this fan down. And then, when it comes off, you open it up and you reset all the switches and everything. I was talking to somebody, shockingly, and I forgot to turn the little dial down. And then I tasted the beans and I was like, well, this tastes better. And so we just kept that process. So we go through these different things, and we always learn. And the whole thing that drives our company is we're there for flavor, and we're there to share chocolate with people. So for better or worse, we don't have this like staunch approach to we can only make chocolate taste a certain way, or we only make it this way. The biggest things we don't do is we don't have nuts, peanuts, gluten, legume, or soy, or shellfish or eggs in our factory. But everything else we get to try. We get to get beans from Dominican Republic and see what they taste like, and then roast them and make a chocolate bar out of it. We get to, get beans from Tanzania, and every season they kind of have a little different flavor to them. And we just, adjust the roast or adjust the grind time and all these different things. And our whole thing is we're looking for flavor first, and then we go from there. So it's pretty wonderful. It would be maddening if you didn't like variability and change all the time. But if you're open to see what happens, it's a great place to work.
Well, one of my favorite things about Videri is, and you mentioned beans, to me, it's a lot like coffee. Going down to your shop with a friend, you sit down, you get a couple samples of chocolate. And I find myself hanging out an hour, hour and a half, just enjoying the community and commune of sharing chocolate with a friend. It really is a special moment down in your shop.
Well, and I think when you add in black and white coffee into that mix, I mean, they're a world-class coffee roaster. I mean, Kyle and Lem obviously have won, multiple barista championships and things of that nature. But our whole thing in that shop is to welcome people in and be a friendly environment that you can come in there, have a piece of chocolate, or if you don't love chocolate, you can have a soft serve ice cream, or you can go over the counter and get a world-class cup of coffee, sit on the patio or sit on a streetery, just anything you could do or want to do in there that involves just kind of sitting and enjoying. Because even on the days, like if you're lucky enough when you're in there when we're roasting cocoa beans, depending on which way the wind blows and if you're walking down Davie Street or you're coming up Harrington or Commerce or something like that, you may get a whiff of roasted cocoa beans that just kind of draws you in. So it's a nice walk too.
And I love the fact that we are seeing a common denominator in a lot of our small businesses downtown, like Videri, Deco, Copperline, all these folks. It's a community. Yeah. And that's what we're not getting at the big boxes. And that's why it's so important for, and I call these spaces safe spaces, because for anybody that goes to Videri, they feel comfortable there. And so that's a safe space. So why wouldn't you want to support your safe space, a place that brings you joy? And I think we take for granted that these places are going to be here all the time. But it takes the magic of owners like you and the community to keep this going.
Yeah, I think you make a good point with, a lot of people just think these things exist or they're going to be there forever. But the positive thing that we see is, year over year, we see, our existing customers have been with us since the beginning. But we get a lot of customers that say, oh, I was at the Green Monkey and Rusty told me to come down here and check it out. Or, in our shop, we have a whole, 4 or 5 window boards filled with the restaurants, the breweries, the cafes, the bakeries, the specialty shops that carry our stuff. And we're just trying to amplify how cool it is that we have a pretty neat downtown. And I think there's a lot of people that love it. And I don't think there's as many people who don't love it. There's just it's just a neat place to kind of walk around. And we get a lot of people on our patio that say, please don't tell people about this. I like that it's here for me. And I'm like, okay, I won't tell you that the patio exists for anybody else. But I think that's what we're really trying to create is almost like a sense of it being special and kind of almost yours, and tell your friends about it and bring them down. I think that's a really big piece of why downtown's special.
Well, I totally agree with that.
I'll add specifically about Videri Chocolate Factory. 2 of the things, aside from the chocolate, that I love are the windows into seeing the process, right? You can do that little tour and snake around the retail space, and you can see the chocolate being made and roasted. And it really is kind of a peek behind the mask. To have a chocolate factory in Raleigh's backyard is just amazing.
It's great. I mean, and that's why we added the QR codes of the videos too. So let's say you do come in on a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon, and there's nobody actually in the production, area making chocolate. You can watch a little 2-minute video of what is roasting? Why is it important? Or one of my favorites is the grinding video, where it shows you, the 2 stone wheels, the melanger, and why it's important that we do that process and, take that time. And then we have the fun one at the end, the chocolate enrobing one, which I'll show you this because if I touch it, I have to eat it. But this is a little bonbon, right? And this is an enrobed bonbon. And what that is we make a ganache or a caramel and we run it through a chocolate waterfall. And I will say on this video, every Thursday from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m., we run that enrobing machine. And you can sit at the window and just look in and watch that.
And get hungry.
Yeah, it's great.
Another thing I really like about your shop, it's a little more subtle, is you have the quizzes or the questions up there talking about chocolate in the store, and I think I've answered them all finally correctly. But your store is super amazing. And I'm wondering, you know how you have home roasters of coffee, friends that roast coffee. Do you ever see chocolate bean or cocoa bean roasting being a home project?
Totally. It actually is. If you get fermented beans, there's like a craze on TikTok where you can get pods of beans and you can ferment them on your own. You can make chocolate that way. But if you buy fermented beans, you can make your own chocolate at home by literally roasting them in the oven and kind of shaking them every couple of minutes. You know, winnowing them with your hands where you take the shells off and you crush the seeds. And they sell these little tabletop grinders on Amazon for like maybe $200, and you can make your own chocolate. And I forget the name. I think it's called chocolatealchemy.com. I think that's what it's called. You can actually go buy all sorts of different varieties of cocoa beans in small increments, and you can make them at home and try them. And it's really fun. We get a lot of people that still come in and bring us chocolate they made at home, and we get to try it. And I'll tell you what, sometimes you're just like, wow, that's pretty damn good.
I love that trend. I'm going to stick to coming by Videri because it's a lot easier. But hey, this is the Have a Holly Raleigh Holiday Edition. So I'd like to pivot, if you guys will allow me, to talk about some of the seasonal delights that you have, Sam. And I was going through the list and I was getting hungrier and hungrier, starting to salivate. With your permission, I'd like to list a couple of these, and maybe you have a comment or two about how delicious they are.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Yep. The blood orange ginger caramel. Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of flavors.
I will tell you what, it is a delight. It looks like this. It's got a little like kind of swirl on top. This is a shelled piece. This is fun to look at and try. Carrie, our head confectioner, who's been with us for, boy, it's almost going to be 12 years now. Or 11 years, I forget. 11 or 12, it's wonderful. She goes to the farmer's market weekly and sees what produce or fruits or spices or herbs are in season and grown locally. And, you know, whenever she saw blood oranges, she got them, she pureed them, she froze them down, and then she makes a delicious caramel with them. And, you know, oranges and chocolate go hand in hand. So this is just a really easy segue into that. And the blood orange ginger, the ginger just bumps up that orange flavor a little bit and kind of highlights it so it doesn't get lost behind a delicious caramel.
So you have, not everything you make is a candy bar.
No, we have bonbons. Like we have all these bonbons in, this is what our little sampler pack looks like.
Oh, nice.
Right. And so it's 8 bonbons in there. And then what it also comes with is a little flavor key.
Oh my God, what a great stocking stuffer.
Well, it's a great stocking stuffer, and it's quite delightful. We have an 8-piece, a 16-piece, 20-piece, and you can even come in and get a party pack of 40 bonbons. We can pick them for you, or you can say, I only want blood orange ginger caramels.
Okay, do you mind giving us a price range of the smallest one to the biggest one? Do you know that?
You can get an individual bonbon for $3.50, and then there are 8 pieces for I think $25. I'm just going to ballpark it, and then 16 and 20 and 40, and you can even get 100 bonbons in a box. So
wow.
You can come in there and get a little one bonbon for less than $4. You can put them in a 2-piece box, 4-piece, stuff like that. So there's stuff in there that is as low price as $4 up to as much money as you're going to spend on chocolate.
Well, I think great. That's a great white elephant gift, stocking stuffer. Oh man, downtown Raleigh, we have got it going on.
We do.
Think about going to your holiday Christmas party and showing up with a box of chocolate or bonbons. I'm going to be the hero this year, kicking out Santa. Santa brings toys. Robert brings chocolate.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, even like something like this, like a signature bundle box that has our 3 favorite 70% classic, 70% with sea salt, and 55% dark milk. This is only with tax, I believe it's right around $25. And you can bring that and put that in the stocking stuffer. And that's a pretty good gift. And it's portable.
Now, are the boxes available at your retail shops or just at Videri?
A lot of our stuff that I'm showing here today is just at our retail store. What we sell out into the world, like a place like Deco, is chocolate bars. And occasionally you'll get somebody who is is buying the hot chocolate mix bag.
Yeah, love it.
Like you see that at Whole Foods and stuff like that. And excuse me, in fact, Pam at Deco will buy some of those, and then the folks at Wine Authorities. And I was actually just at Raleigh Wine Shop the other day, and they have chocolate, like chocolate bars and hot chocolate mix at the store.
Well, let me take a minute and whet Raleigh's appetite with some of Videri's seasonal. All right, returning this year are Jingle Bell caramels with 4 exclusive winter flavors. You got salted pine, cranberry, gingerbread, and orange laurel, which each one sounds fantastic. I think you might want to try all of them so you can pick your favorite. You have a peppermint express candy bar.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
This one right here. And in fact, this year we came out with a bag of peppermint nonpareils, which are little buttons. And I'll show you. I don't know if I can get this on camera properly, but it looks like a little tiny button. It's got chocolate in it. That's pretty delicious.
I'm jealous that we didn't have any on my end of this video. But you
also have you got to come to Videri tomorrow.
Robert, we got to make a date. I want to go to Videri.
I'm free every day in December. You also have just a few more things: chocolate covered marshmallow trees, and vanilla and honey, and covered with dark chocolate. Oh my gosh!
And it comes in a little tiny prepackaged bag, pretty thick little thing here. And you can't really see it as well, but it's got some nice little sugar sprinkles on it in the color of green, kind of make it look like a Christmas tree.
And then last but not least, you have kettle corn and Videri chocolate covered caramel churro. That sounds great. And original kettle corn.
Yeah, we partnered with the folks at the farmer's market, Uncle Dave's, and they make us a kettle corn, a chocolate covered caramel popcorn, and then a churro flavor in like one of those, the 3-bin or the 3 flavor tins. Now we started selling chocolate covered popcorn tins. It is pretty delightful.
Well, it seems to me that you started with chocolate and now your menu is just explosive in the options and opportunities to mix and match between but chocolates, caramels, peppermints. It really is a huge variety and opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, when you add in, again, soft serve ice cream with house-made toppings into our counter, and then we have the folks at Black and White doing what they do, it's a pretty great place to come in and have a nice day, or even work from Videri in the Black and White Cafe.
So what are the hours?
We're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday we're open 11 to 5, and Monday we're open 11 to 5 or 6, depending on how busy we are. And Black and White Cafe is open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and I think 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday.
I'm going to dispel a myth because I've been to Videri regularly, and you guys will validate parking.
You have to do it in a proper way. When you park in that parking lot, you have to pay on your phone with the prompts that are on the signs in the parking lot. You do all that stuff with a credit card, put your license plate in, whole deal. Come inside with purchase. We'll give you a validation code, and it's good for 2 hours.
And it's real easy. I mean, it's not that complicated. Even an old man like me can figure out that app. So,
and do you have a city parking deck or a lot close by that's doing the 2 hours free?
There's a lot of free parking, and I don't think our city parking deck would be mentally close enough to like park in there and walk over. The closest city parking deck is the one by behind the Sheraton there and Red Hat Amphitheater. I think that's the closest city parking deck. And then, because we have the Dillon building that's a block away. So I think that's the closest one. But I mean, hey, it's a 2-block walk. If you wanted free parking on the weekends, it's a 2-block walk.
I just want to give them the options because you know how people are about paying for parking.
I know.
My last question.
Now, the street parking is free in the evening down there on Davie Street?
Yep, past 6 p.m. and then free on Saturdays and Sundays down there.
Okay.
If we want to make a bulk order, do you have an online opportunity for that, Sam?
100%. If you go to viderichocolatefactory.com, you can look at all of the options. You can actually even book a guided tour on Wednesdays if you want to. And we just have a lot of different options there. And then we can ship our product to the lower 48 states. We don't ship to Alaska or Hawaii right now. But if you love somebody in a different state and you want to send them chocolate as a thank you, send it out.
Awesome. Well, Raleigh, I'm mortgage professor Robert Courts.
And I'm Rusty Sutton, the owner of the Green Monkey.
And our guest today was
Sam Rattle from Videri Videri Chocolate Factory.
Raleigh. All this and more is in your backyard. Downtown Raleigh is a cornucopia of opportunity for fun and delights, and we highly recommend you start with Sam at Videri Chocolate Factory. You will not regret it. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Okay.